You know, Dan Auerbach of the Black...
I like these Black Keys.
Black Keys, Bill.
Yeah, that's what I said, Black Keys.
It's like your tubing team. I produced Ultraviolence, the Lana Del Rey album from a years ago. And I like it a lot, boy. Big fan of that album. This past weekend was the first weekend of Coachella. And then Lana Del Rey performed. We saw her at ACL years ago. And I was very, very skeptical of Lana Del Rey because she felt like a real industry construct. But, man, I was smitten. But Billie Eilish walked out and surprised the crowd at Coachella with Lana Del Rey. Yeah, we saw Lana Del Rey open for Eminem. I shouldn't say open. I mean, she was the last act before he headlined that main stage. But, yeah, I liked her a lot, boy. She's not everybody's cup of tea, but I think she's dynamite. Dan Auerbach produced that album. So, yeah, Black Keys back at the Romo Fijo. And you might not have heard, despite numerous pieces of apparel to the contrary, but they are a band from Akron, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I think when they come back, they go, well, hell, let's see what we can do here. And hope people go out and see them because those Black Keys, boy.
People love the Black Keys out of Akron.
Yes, Akron, Ohio. Mm-hmm. I got more money here for you in about 4 or 5 minutes. Next shot for you to grab $1,000 from the Buzzard bookie. What will you use it for? I don't know. You can blow it right away on, say, octopus tattoo. You can squirrel it away somewhere, maybe for a rainy day or a sunny day when you get into a fender bender. Or maybe, who knows? I'm not going to tell you what to do with it. But we'll have plenty of those to hand off. Guardians shut out the Red Sox today in that Patriots Day game. Listeners were getting me hip to that earlier. I thought that they just named it that because of the Boston Marathon bombing, but I guess it coincides with the first battles of the Revolutionary War, maybe. But the Boston Marathon was today or yesterday, right? I don't pay attention to the Boston Marathon.
I think it's today.
Today. I think you're right. I heard our sports break update who won it. I don't know if it was I guess there was some controversy, though, over the Boston Marathon, that there was some guy who they have to take a look at the video of him winning something because it looked like the people closest to him were slowing down purposely to let him win. I don't know anything about that, but I saw a headline about some...
Are you not allowed to slow down and let somebody else win?
Well... This was a marathon in Beijing. This wasn't the Boston Marathon, but the Beijing Half Marathon is investigating whether or not other people let the guy win. I don't know. The Beijing Marathon is just Chinese guys and then Kenyan guys. It's like every other marathon. It's large groups of one kind of person. And then, in this case, Chinese, because it's Beijing. And people fly all over the world to run various marathons, obviously. But it's always, they're investigating this, apparently, because it looks like 3 Ethiopian runners were slowing down near the finish line so this other guy could win. He's a member of China's national marathon team or something. And so that should tell you all you need to know, is that the other guys had to slow down to let the national champion of China win. If that's what happened. I don't know.
They just got tired.
Maybe they did. They got really tired, all in unison, right at the finish line.
It's a long race.
It's a half marathon. These guys aren't getting tired. This is how they practice for all the other ones. This was a Beijing half marathon. 13 point what? 2?
I think it's 13.1.
1. Because 26.2. Yeah. And why the 0.2?
Because that's how long the guy ran that the marathon is inspired by. He ran 26.2 miles.
Is that true?
And then died.
Is that true?
And they're like, to commemorate his death,
he
we're going to run that.
Deliver a message or something.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know. I didn't know that it was 26, that he ran 26.2 miles specifically.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it would have been.
You would think they
measured back then.
Yeah. You would think they would have. Well, that's what I'm saying. You'd think that at some point they would have just rounded down. I mean,
right.
Yeah. but not so much. 26.2 miles for that. The WNBA draft is tonight. An appropriate response. And the crowd goes wild. Caitlin Clark was on Saturday Night Live this weekend. Did you watch any of that, Saturday Night Live?
No.
Nope.
This was an episode I knew I was going to watch because it was Ryan Gosling and Chris Stapleton. And I like both of those guys. You know, a lot of times it's like a host you might like, but then a musical guest you've never heard of before, or vice versa. And this weekend it was pretty good. They brought her out for Weekend Update so she could make fun of Michael Che and get him back for all the WNBA jokes or women's sports jokes that he's made.
Take that.
She cleans up nice, by the way. I've never seen her other than, like, in gameplay. I've never seen her kind of glammed up or whatever, and, you know. I've only seen her running up and down the court. Oh, wait, Chase, have you run into him at all, Mary?
Yeah, I met him.
He said
I think I
that
talked
he's...
about that, didn't I? Go
You
ahead.
might have, but I was reading that he says he's kind of, like, not digging doing stand-up right now.
I haven't seen him perform. He was hanging out at the stand one night, and we were all just kind of sitting around chatting, and he, yeah, very kind, super sweet. Introduced himself, talked with me, like, totally chill.
Yeah. I was just curious about that because, you know.
He didn't go up, but he was just hanging out.
Well, there it is. Anyway, the only reason anybody's paying attention to the WNBA draft is because of Caitlin Clark tonight. I don't even know where the WNBA draft is. Does anybody know off the top of their heads where the WNBA draft is? It is at 7:30 tonight.
Is it like the NFL draft where it moves to a different place every year? Or?
I believe that it does.
Okay.
So this year it is in...
Is it in Indiana?
You can't look it up.
I'm not looking it up. I'm going to guess. This year the WNBA draft is taking place in Menominee, Wisconsin.
Boy, she nailed it right from the jump. Menominee, Wisconsin. No, is that where Making a Murderer was? Oh, that was Manitowoc, wasn't it? No, it is not happening in Menominee, Wisconsin.
Is it happening in Indianapolis?
It's not.
Okay.
It's a major city?
Indeed it is.
Portland, Oregon.
Nope.
Is it a Midwest city?
Nope.
Denver.
Nope.
Is it a
Atlanta.
Southern city?
Nope.
Is it New York City?
Boston.
At the Brooklyn Academy of Music.
Wow, fitting.
Yeah, they're going to be making sweet, sweet basketball music tonight. Yeah, on ESPN. And in Canada, there'll be, yeah. So the Indiana Fever, the Phoenix Mercury, the LA Sparks, Seattle Storm, all these teams who will be grabbing brand new players. Caitlin Clark expected to go first overall to the Indiana Fever. But 7:30 tonight. Live from the Brooklyn Academy of Music. You could get right over there, Mary. You could probably stand across the street and scream at them. And
Make a sign.
yeah, make a sign. Go Caitlin, but spell it with a K.
No, I can't do that.
You're not going to do
because
that.
I don't know anything about the WNBA.
Nobody
That
does,
seems
but there's going to... You
disingenuous.
think the people covering it know what the hell's going on with the WNBA?
Am I protesting or am I supporting?
No, you're supporting.
Supporting. Why would
And
you
it just
protest
says "Go
it?
Caitlin." I don't know. I didn't know what the vibe was.
But spell with a K, so it's kind of passive-aggressive.
KAIT or
However you want it.
KATE?
Dealer's choice.
I don't even bring any puffy paint with me today.
I got to give
It's
money
Diddy
here.
paint now.
Sorry.
It's dirty money paint.
It is primarily used by underage kids.
I've got to give you
You
some
can just say kids.
underage
don't worry
children.
about
Well,
it.
there are.
Alan, you got to give away money. I think.
Yeah, she's just she's speaking out loud, Bill. Leave her alone. It's $1,000 from the Buzzard bookie. I hope you win. Good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Green. That's green. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
I mentioned the family in Oklahoma earlier that has gotten themselves in big trouble because they took an octopus as a pet. We do have bureau chiefs in the town of Edmond, Oklahoma. I don't know where that is, but it jumped out at me because I know we have listeners there on the iHeartRadio app. And Edmond, Oklahoma is in the news for being an animal chiropractor. He is a board-certified animal chiropractor, Dr. Joran Whitley. Maybe it's Jeden. I don't know if that's Swedish. Whitley probably isn't. That sounds Canadian. But this guy is working on animals. Now, some people are skeptical of human chiropractors, so they'd probably be equally, if not more, skeptical of animal chiropractors. But this guy is working on cats and horses and dogs and chickens, all of it. He's helping out giraffes. Or is it giraffes? What's the plural? You just put an E on the S on the end?
Giraffe to pie.
Giraffe to pie. And so this guy, he's just getting people hip to what's going on in the animal chiropractic community, out there dispelling myths and telling people what's going on. So Oklahoma, it's a wild place to be right now because Oklahoma is so it's a state where pregnant women are in mortal danger, but zoo animals can get lumbar adjustments.
Obviously.
At zoos.
One's more important.
Well, clearly, this guy's out there helping out wherever he can. So thank you to our Edmond bureau chiefs for sending me that because I don't know that would have come to my attention otherwise. Oklahoma is the Sooner State. That's the nickname. Ohio's the Buckeye State. Oklahoma is the Sooner State. I think that's the name of the football team, right? The Sooners.
Yeah.
Yeah. As in, the sooner you get to a Planned Parenthood across the border in New Mexico, the better. That's what it is. Once you get across the tiny little OK panhandle into New Mexico, good to go. Back into it being a free country. Speaking of New Mexico, I was watching that video of those dudes that were breaking up those rocks. Did you watch that?
No.
In Lake Mead National Park, there's a bunch of dudes. There's I don't know if they have their kids with them or what, because you can hear like a little girl screaming, and these guys are in big trouble, and now they're trying to identify who they are, even though the news blurred their faces. So I guess it's going to be like, hey, do you know a guy in a red shirt? But these guys were on top. I don't know what.
Were they pushing them down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like million-year-old rock formations. It's like a felony.
Yeah.
They're in a national park.
People are so dumb.
I don't get it.
Like what? Yeah, what's the point?
It's so, you're up there with your kids
Big
or
rock
whatever.
fall fun.
What's that?
It's like just dumb guy stuff where you're like, it's a big rock, I pushed it.
But they're not 12. They're like grown men.
This almost feels like a personal attack in a way.
Crime captured on camera sparking outrage. Damage done at a national park site that cannot be fixed. Tonight, Lake Mead National Recreation Area officials are seeking more information on two men seen damaging protected rock formations. A little girl screams as two men push chunks of red stone off the edge of a formation at the federally protected site.
One dude almost slips, by the way. But
yeah.
And if you can see these guys, this is the most exercise these dudes have gotten in a long time. But the one guy almost slips. That would have been the best if he had like slipped
And the rock fell on him.
fallen all the way down.
Yeah.
But I don't understand the point. I know people are completely ignorant about history, geology, but there are signs everywhere. You don't have to be a scientist when you go to these national parks. We were in Sedona. Every 10 feet, there's a sign telling you what not to do.
Don't touch it.
Yeah, we're happy to not
Crap.
do it. It's
Leave
like,
the snakes alone.
don't leave anything more than footprints. That's right.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the motto. So you don't have to know what everything is. There's little placards that'll tell you if you want to know. And they're like, hey, don't touch. These people had to climb. I mean, obviously, there's trails you can take up in the Red Rocks, but these guys stopped off. But they must have been in some out-of-the-way thing because there's somebody filming them on the ground, but there's nobody up there even near them. Right. They'd be like, hey, cut the shrimp.
It takes millions of years for these rock formations to form, and then you get a few idiots out there that are destroying all that work of nature. It's pretty appalling. It's kind of disgusting.
It happened Sunday evening at 5:45 p.m. at Redstone Dunes, one of the most popular hiking trails at Lake Mead.
Why would you even do something like this? Like why on earth would you do this to this area that's so beautiful? It's one of my favorite places in the park, and they're up there just destroying it. I don't understand that.
Lake Mead National Recreation Area is massive.
Looks like they got the water back at Lake Mead, by the way. Remember, like a year ago, Lake Mead was like a desert?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were finding bodies and stuff.
Yeah. That's pretty wild. Like, obviously, if you see people at, Cuyahoga Valley National Park, we're so fortunate to have a national park here in Ohio, right, up by us. You see somebody humping Brandywine Falls, you go, get out of there. You give them what fur, don't you? If you see that happen, you're on a hike, see somebody humping Brandywine Falls, don't you give them what fur?
Yes, what fur? They get what fur?
Don't you give them a talking to? Don't you give them a tongue lashing?
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have been great if people on the ground had been throwing rocks at these guys in an attempt to get them to stop. Yeah. So, like these national parks, man, I don't know at what point people stopped taking in the natural wonder passively. And
There's just always going to be idiots. Always.
I guess, but I don't recall people pushing million-year-old rock formation. By the way, Rock Formations was the first working title of 2 Hours to Midnight.
Oh, yeah. That's...
I
think you landed on a better...
I think I probably did, too.
But we don't have records of it, but I'm sure there were a bunch of idiots back in the... we destroyed half the country just settling it.
No, but that's not the same thing.
But
These
even
people went there on purpose.
yeah, but I'm sure
You
there
don't
was
have to go there. The other people destroying half the country didn't have anywhere to be. They didn't have houses and stuff to stay in.
right. But I'm saying there's still plenty of people over time. Have you ever gone to the ledges? Everybody writes graffiti all over them. People have been doing dumb crap like that forever.
I've never been out to the ledges.
Yeah, whips ledges. I don't think people do it as much anymore, but there's a lot of people that would just graffiti all over those things.
Is that where they have the gathering?
No,
Oh.
that's
That's
Nelson's.
Nelson's.
Oh, there's different ledges?
Whips Ledges is down in Bath Township. I believe.
Whips
Or Hinckley,
Ledges.
Hinckley, I'm sorry.
It's whips?
Whips.
Whips.
Whips Ledges.
Wow, okay.
It's a good spot. It wasn't too far from where I grew up, so we'd
Wow.
go there. We'd do Boy Scout campouts and stuff like that. And
How far is it from Mansfield?
probably an hour.
Oh, an hour?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Then don't go to incarceration if you're living out in Whips Ledges, because the Ohio State Reformatory, that's where they're doing incarceration this summer, and I'll have tickets for you coming back. Tattoo artists, by the way. It's a music and tattoo festival.
Hey.
So maybe you've gotten a good idea from Mary today. Maybe you're like, you know what? I would like an octopus
You're welcome.
somewhere on my body
A lot of people got that tattoo.
with some cheeky tentacles going this way and that. So I'll have general admission weekend passes for incarcerations, Godsmack and Breaking Benjamin and Bad Omens and Chevelle. Like a lot of good bands.